Hello. Hey, at least I only run the stupid countdown timer for only, 10 seconds or 30 seconds? 30 seconds, I guess.
Right.
Can't stand long timers, but it gives me and Bart a chance to make sure that everything is working. So, and real quick, I'm just going to say hello because it looks like Mr. Livewire 1970 managed to stay up. He's passed out before 10, so I wanted to get in a hello to him and thank him for showing up tonight. And along with all our regular guests, the Digital Graffiti Playhouse, Karina Brown, I think that might be somebody new. Mr.
Karina, she works with me.
Oh,
she's the one. She subbed to me today just so I could be one person ahead of Poe. So I have one more sub than Poe, Mr. Poe style, and that was Karina. So she said she would be here, and she was true to her word. So good to see you, Karina.
It's true. And Kelly Huff, Off Grid Arcade, Digital Graffiti Playhouse, Arcade Chaos. I think I did see the Gaming Road Warriors in here, so I wanted to say hello to, along with G.Parkers Arcade Room. I guess I was talking to Chaos in there earlier. Well, that's good because I'll tell you what, I'm glad you're picking up subscribers because it's going to be kind of tough on you, Bart, because I'm telling you what, you know, you and I are kind of the pinball guys, but I'm telling you, this Mr. Poe style, since he got that FX going on his PlayStation, he's putting out pinball videos, and they're good-looking videos.
Yeah, that Pinball FX is looking pretty sweet on that PS5.
But, yeah, I'm thinking about buying one for all my friends, so we can just all be friends together.
Yeah, I've been checking the mail every day, and I haven't got my PS5 from G.Parker yet, but I don't know.
Well, I lost your credit card information.
Well, I'll give you Mike Seabee's. I'll give you his. That's how I bought Poe stuff. I always just use Mike's.
Mike Seaweed. We'll get Mike Seaweed's gaming in here. Hey, Mike, I sent you a link. If you want to jump in the show, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome to jump in. So all you got to do is click that link. It's in the chat. So, but if you don't, that's no pressure. He's giving us a big LOL there. But anyway, hey, Bart, like I said,
yes, sir.
Ahead of time. What do you want to say about our 10-week tournament? We're over the halfway hump.
We are. We're over the hump. We got 5 weeks in the books, starting week 6. But there were some shakeups with the overall standings because this week we had some people popping up near the top that hadn't been up there yet. So I don't know if you got the spreadsheet handy. If I didn't know if you wanted to go over some of those scores for this last week.
and since I do have this handy, I just do want to mention it. You know, this is why I'll tell you what. This is why I've got my partner in pinball over there, Off Grid Arcade, because I tell you what, everybody ought to appreciate the fact that's playing in this. That so I put together a list and I set them up on Sunday. But I'll tell you what, Bart's entering all this stuff into a spreadsheet and keeping track of it meticulously and getting this to me. I just kind of am holding the backup copy and kind of going over it, but there's never been one mistake. Matter of fact, I'm getting kind of lazy. I don't think I checked it this week because everything he's done has been perfect. So I just want to thank him and Kelly both because they're two wonderful people and they're great people and they've been helping out tremendously. So yes, with that being said, you're right. Mrs. G.Parker, I think, is the big news that kind of shook things up and refresh my memory. There was only 5 attempts this last week, right?
Right. You could only play 5 attempts, but they were full 3-ball games, but you only got 5 tries. That shook things up a little bit, made it a little harder to, you couldn't just hit that restart when you had a bad ball 1. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was the purpose when Off Grid and I talked about this at first. We said, let's shake this thing up a little bit, and we've had people talk about whether it's going to be in the different modes, the arcade mode or the standard mode. But we just thought, let's make it to where everybody has a chance. And right now, Castle Storm's going on. One ball.
One ball, 5 attempts.
5 attempts. So this could shake stuff up because you got the guys that have time that can just keep batting that ball away and get up those high scores. But some of this is going to be a little bit of luck involved here. It's whether you drain. Thank God Castle Storm has a good ball save feature.
Yeah.
Because Funhouse.
Oh, man. If you do one ball in Funhouse, that could be a ridiculously low score. But, yeah, Champagne Room, palms will be sweating with this one ball, 5 attempts.
Now, Champagne Room, I will give him credit. I got to give him a shout out. And Champagne Room, you got to drop me a message sometime. You're our first place guy. If you ever want to, maybe interested in coming on our show one Sunday night and talking a little bit about some of your strategy. Maybe you don't want to give that up, but drop me a comment or something in the comments on one of the videos or here, and let me know, and I'll work out getting you my contact information. We'll get you on the show if you want. So, it's up to you. So, Bart asked me to do this. I've been talking about other stuff. Champagne Room still in first place, 17 points overall. Wavy Creature 539, 11 points overall. Livewire 713, 9 points. Now, I will say this, those top 3 people, too, I don't know who you are, and I don't have to know who you are. But we've got on our spreadsheet, if we know the people's real name or contact information. If you guys continue to keep going, I will need some type of contact information to give you the codes to get into the finale and also to give you get your gift card if you're one of the winners. So that's something to be thinking about down the road. We've got plenty of time. So anyway, I finished up with Livewire 713, who I believe is in this week's tournament. I think is already on the leaderboard. I'll go out to the other room here and look a little bit. Mr. Livewire. Okay, he's waiting for me. He's there. He's here in the chat right now. But here's the big shakeup. My wife, Mrs. G.Parker, she went on a rampage on that table last week, and I'll be honest with you, that was her first attempt, and she never played it again because, yes, she did. She played it one more time and didn't even come close. Didn't even break $1 million. And she says, well, but Champagne Room, I think, didn't he the one that came out and waxed her off the top at the last minute? Yeah. But so that kind of mixed up the scores a little bit. So she's moved. So you can see right there, she's played every week, but only came in second then one week and brought her up to 4th place. So that goes to tell you how this thing can get mixed up, especially the harder it gets. So anyway, I want to mention that Bastille, and I know him. I'm going to call him and ask him how to pronounce this. Apple Blossom is next place. Balls a slapping. And then it's Off Grid Arcade, Mike CB. Everybody else is down there in the 5 points. I don't know, Arcade Chaos. Hey, Arcade Chaos did a great job. He did a pretty good job. He's done a pretty good job every week. Post Aisle. And I'll tell you, Mike CB's gaming headquarters, he's just a sleeper. The guy, I don't know much about pinball. Yeah, right, Mike. Whatever. I mean, you've been watching every week, so yeah, I don't want to hear that. And right. I don't know if I should go down the GTH 2370. Myself, G.Parkers down there. I think everybody else is pretty much tied. There's 4 points, 3 points. I'm not going to go through the whole Digital Victory. He's on the board, but he's had to miss a couple. So anyway, I don't know. We got a good showing here. I think we're looking good. And don't forget, you get 1 ball, 5 attempts. Castle Storm. Plenty of ball saves. Plenty of ball saves, though. We didn't at least pick a table for that. That's horrible. So
right. Yeah. Now, the Champagne Room, he said he's going with the strategy of trying 1 attempt each night. he finds that works for him when it's not unlimited tries. That's what I did with the last one. I played one game a night, and then I had to skip one night. I forget, so I played 2 the last night, and it didn't help. I thought maybe playing 2 in a row would help me. It didn't. I think I'm like Cheryl. I think my first game that I played of the 5 attempts was that one that I got 48 million or something like that, and then all the rest of them were. I just got worse each time I played.
Let me see something here. Can you're smarter at this than I am. Can we make that screen I just added the soul screen?
Let's see. I think if we go into this mode and then drag it over here and then do this.
Okay. And you know what? I still can't read it. Can you read it?
I can't. Let me see. Oh, I'm in the wrong window here. I'm trying to zoom in. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't read the names and scores. Looks like I can see what 1, 2, 3, 4 people have played so far.
I'll tell you what. I'm just going to walk in there because that's a live feed. Let me go in there and hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to read the scores and then come right back and take it down. So,
okay,
you'll have to leave it up to hear me. I'll be right back.
All right. Anyone wants to talk about Greg? Now's the time while he's switching rooms. You know the drill. He can't read any of the chat over there, so feel free.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, Classic Rocking. CLASSICROCKKAING. Is that the first time for this person? I don't know.
No, he's played before.
Okay, 7,228,790. G.Parkers up next at 3,702,314. That was my first attempt. I'm going to do like you, Bart. I'm going to play, and I believe Champagne Room said I'm going to play 1 a night. GTH 2370. I know he's in the chat there at third with 3,233,699. And Postile up there with 2,706,987. I'll be right back. I'm going back to the other room.
Yeah, you can be a surprise, Ed. I don't think he knows you're here.
What's that?
Nothing. Let me see if I can change these screens up here. Oh wait! There's a fourth screen all of a sudden.
I leave the room and look what I leave the room and the riffraff comes in. What are you doing, man?
Wait a second. I just hopped in. You're calling me riffraff? I just saw your hat.
That's true. Hello, Ed.
How you doing?
Good.
Right.
Having a good time playing a little. We've got a tough week going. We got this Castle Storm is 1 ball.
5 tries, right?
Yeah.
I saw that. I haven't jumped in on that one. I've missed the last couple. I've just been crazy living crazy real life stuff going on, but I got to jump in this week for sure.
Hey, first of all, we appreciate you stopping by. I think I'm going to give a quick introduction. This is Digital Victory. If you haven't checked out his channel, he's got some great content when it comes to pinball. He can talk you through these games, and he's a great guy. He's been a great guest and a friend of ours. So I want to welcome him. And yes, brother, I understand. This is for fun. You got family stuff, and we'll get together privately. I'll tell you all the stuff that's been going on with me. I know what it's like. So you
I appreciate that. And about 1/3 of what you said is true about me. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
What's up, Champagne Room? You still kicking butt?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And don't hold it against Digital Victory because he's slumming with me and Greg. Because if you want to watch bad pinball, you watch me and Greg play. If you want to watch good pinball, you watch Digital Victory. And
no, I've been watching your videos off grid on some of those tables you've been playing. You're doing just fine. I want to buy that new table you were showing off today. That looks great. Sky Pirates, I think it is.
Yeah, Skyfire. That's a pretty cool game.
Oh,
Of course, we wish we would have only bought one of that pack, and then they would have gifted us the other two. But who knew?
Yeah. What's the story behind the hat, Greg?
oh, this is just my son. Travis is the one that lives here, the unknown gamer. But my son that's in the military sent me a Mario and a Luigi hat for Christmas, and I just haven't had them on much lately. So I got I wore Luigi tonight. Now, he was pretty proud of himself, and he called Mom and said, "Did Dad like him?" And she said, "Oh," because when I got him, I was just ecstatic. I was running around the house in my underwear, just my underwear and this. Close your eyes and picture that, everybody.
No, I'm kind of glad you didn't get that hat before we came up to visit.
Oh yeah, sure.
Short stay.
Don't let me go. Don't make me go get the red one that's got the big M on it. You know.
Oh goodness.
Well, I got to ask Digital Victory. So, Digital Victory, you do have Pinball FX? I
do, and I have it on my PC here. I play here on the PC. I have not put it on the PC in the game room yet, but I would like to. What's up, Arcade Chaos? I was going to ask in your comments, by the way, Bart, do they have a true cabinet mode now?
Well, it works, but it has its flaws, which one of the big ones is, I don't know, most people seem like they keep their cabinet in landscape mode, and there's no way. Well, I guess someone wrote a third-party script, but you have to change your screen to portrait before you go into the game. It won't rotate it itself. My cabinet, I keep it in portrait because I don't like to try to look sideways, and my mouse is all wacky. So I keep it in portrait, which means every time I download a VPX table, I have to go into the settings and rotate it. But I did that from the beginning, so it's always just one table at a time. It's not like trying to catch up with 150 tables and rotate them all. But and the other big thing is you can't get into any other mode other than playing games. If you want to get in a tournament, you have to get out of cabinet mode. If you want to do the other little modes, the 200 flips and stuff like that, you have to get out of cabinet mode.
Now you can still play it. You can still play it in your portrait mode out of cabinet mode. You just don't get the back glass anymore. So you can still play it single screen. But I since you asked about that, I was going to bring that up real quick. Let me tell you the research I did. I was reading on Zen's question and answer thing. I was looking on Reddit because Bart, you kind of turned me on to Reddit and looking on some of that stuff. And I can't remember where I got each one of these pieces of information, but I know on Zen's page, the plan for cabinet mode is they're going to charge you for it. Now, people get excited when they say that. They're not going to charge you. And now we're going to go back to this ticket thing. The last thing I read is they said giving them just one ticket will satisfy them. They just want something.
Interesting.
Well, see, they haven't. Now, that's what they said on their site. Now, here's my take on it. I'm not giving you what they said, but here's my take on it. Nobody's asked me for a ticket yet. Nobody's asked me to pay for it. And it has not changed since they went out of early release. So what I'm thinking is there's something bigger coming. One guy wrote on Reddit, I think it was Reddit, he said his prediction was they wanted to get this Xbox, PlayStation, possibly even the Nintendo Switch release done, and then maybe they'll go back and hopefully do their work on the cabinet mode. So I think we're a little premature to get upset about cabinet mode because I don't think it's there yet.
That may just be it.
I saw a thing on Reddit myself that a guy had wrote directly to Zen through email instead of posting, and he got a reply from Zen that said that cabinet mode is now their main priority. They got the Xbox and PlayStation out. They got the Epic one live in the full version. They are still working on the Switch, which I heard is going to be April or May. But right now, their number one priority is finishing the cabinet mode. And I don't know. I like Greg's idea if they go with the one ticket, which now they're coins instead of tickets. Because I had 16 left, and I used 15 of them to buy a new carpet for my little room on the Epic Store. So I got one left. So if they make it just any donation works, I'm paying one ticket because that's what I have left.
I saved one. Yeah,
that is an amazing feature that they have come up with in cosmetics, in video games in general. The fact that FX Pinball has jumped on board with that, and you can buy paintings for your walls and posters and carpet and things like that. I noticed you were playing that Brothers in Arms game, Bart, and they had the soldier guy standing there in the corner. A lot of people hate that stuff. I think it's cool as heck. I'm not gonna lie. When I play my other games lately, been playing PGA Tour 2K23 on the PlayStation. You buy your cosmetic, your clothes, and all that, and I have no problem with it. If people don't want to, I respect that too. It's your money. I don't,
Right.
But
it gives you a goal for something too, because they give you some of that stuff. I mean,
right.
I think Poe has got a whole collection just from playing Snoopy 1,000 million times. Whatever.
Did you watch Mr. Postyle's video he put out where he played the mummy table? About half of his video, he's just commenting to me because I gave him shit for not having any of the collectibles on his shelves. So he did half of his video. He was just going to do gameplay. And he spent like 15 minutes putting up.
Oh, that's great. I will go check that out for sure.
It's like,
I don't want to interrupt. But I don't know if you noticed, but I've got to just take a quick second to introduce the one, the only, the Mike Seabees Gaming Headquarters.
There he is.
Gaming Road Warrior.
Welcome.
Gaming Road Warrior. Mike, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, good. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, bud.
Well, since Mike came in, I want to say something real quick about this cabinet mode, then I'll close my end of it. The one thing I did do, Digital Victory, that I thought was kind of cool is I got 2 V-pins, and one of them set up with Pinball Emporium, and the other one was set up with Pinball Popper, which they were basically a duplication effort. So what I did was I set that cabinet up to where it's always in the portrait mode.
Like Bart's was, yeah.
And then what I did was I set it up, the computer inside the cabinet, to auto-launch Pinball FX. So now, when I turn it on, the only thing I have to do, which is kind of a pain in the butt, this is what I hope they fix, I just go over and hit cabinet mode and turn it on. And Bart, I did figure out how to get you to play hot seat, though. I can't. Cheryl and I could play 2-player hot seat in cabinet mode.
Yeah. I think Kelly and I did that too. I think you can get into hot seat. Yeah.
So Cheryl and I did have a good time tonight playing. She absolutely loved Garfield, and so we did do that. So that's the only thing I've done as far as cabinet mode on one of my cabinets is I just set it up so it automatically launches.
Yeah, and Greg did hit on the other thing there, Ed, is you still have to go in every single time you boot up and tell it you want to use cabinet mode.
Oh, okay.
You can't. It's not like FX3, and once you launch cabinet mode, it just remembers. You have to go in and do it every single time.
Okay.
It's weird, glitchy stuff. Now, take for example, here's another thing that's kind of a pet peeve, not to do with cabinet mode, but when we're playing these tournaments, it used on my Switch and on Steam. Once you log into a tournament that's a closed tournament like ours are with a password, every time you played afterwards, you could. FX tournaments, you have to enter that password every time.
Even if it's your own tournament, even if you created the tournament, you still have to enter the password every time you join it. That's kind of wacky.
Seems like they still got some kinks to work out for sure.
Yeah. Now, Mike, we will let you talk eventually, but right now you're just here because we needed a pretty face.
Oh, okay.
So, well, a pretty shirt at least, because Chaos likes your 1.21 gigawatts.
Oh, thanks, Chaos. Appreciate that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, it is nice to have Mike here because when Poe was here last week, we all know he's got a face for radio. So if we had a radio show, it'd be okay. I do want to ask Mike something, though. I'm going to draw Mike into this conversation. I'm going to draw him in. I'll tell you what, Mike, this is something I've been talking about amongst the rest of us. We all started this pinball, and Mike's got a great channel. Does like documentaries on console games and games with movies. Great content. Be sure to check out his
Toys
channel.
too, right?
Huh?
What
Toys
what's that?
too, right?
Yeah.
No toys.
No toys?
No toys.
No, but he's got just some great content. But the thing that is driving me nuts about the Gaming Road Warrior is we all started talking. We started getting in this pinball, and he's like, I haven't played much pinball before. I don't know if I'll be very good at it. You know, this guy is cleaning our clocks. So tell us a little bit about your pinball, Mike. Come on. What's your take on this? Are you having fun with it? What's going on?
Yeah, well, ever since you guys started up the tournament, it's like, okay, so I ended up buying my first game. What was that? Not the Fishtails. I just did not like that game. But
Yeah.
I think what drew me into it was when I got to play the Junkyard. And then I'm like, holy smokes, this is actually pretty fun. And then Monster Bash, that was awesome, playing that game. And then the more games I bought, the more I really enjoyed playing it. So I started like, if I'm around the house, I'll bring my Switch around. I've been playing pinball, but yeah, Monster House, Junkyard, and some of those other games you showed us, like I'm trying to think what game, like Back to the Future. I seen you guys play Garfield. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of cool games, and so I ended up like Poe downloading the FX Pinball for my PlayStation 5, and wow, it looks really amazing playing on that. I mean, yeah, even Fishtails looks amazing. When I tried FX3 on it, it's like, oh, okay, this looks a little bit better on here. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed playing this because I wasn't really into it. I like playing pinball sometimes. Especially when I bought like Stern for the PlayStation 5, I bought like Star Trek and Ghostbusters. Those were my favorite ones at the arcade. So over in my hometown, I have an arcade. It's like a really small arcade in the mall. And they have Star Trek and I'm trying to think what was the other pinball machine they have there. They had Indiana Jones was there at one point. So when I seen you guys play it, I'm like, oh, I actually played that on our arcade machine over there. And another one was like WWE. They had that over there. That was
Royal Rumble,
fun.
baby.
Yeah, I love that game. That was cool. And they had like the little ring on the top where you had to get the ball in. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. So I do enjoy playing, you know, like if I go out and about on like the arcade, they have like an actual pinball machine. I gravitate towards that. But it's like the virtual stuff. It's like, I don't know, until, like I said, when you guys got into the tournament and started playing some of the games. And then now I really do enjoy playing these pinball games. Lots of fun.
Right on, Mike.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, because Mike's been like Greg said, he's been spanking us these first few weeks. And then we had the 5-game limits and on the Adventureland, and Mike put in our little group text. He said, "Oh, I played my last game," and he said he didn't do so good. So part of me was like, "All right," because I know I was ahead of him, and I went and I logged in just to see it, make sure, and I ended up barely beating him. I squeaked by Mike because I've been playing pinball for years, and Mike's been playing for like 3 weeks, and I finally beat him.
Yeah, there's so many great tables. Monster Bash, like you talked about in Champagne Room, said that is an all-time classic. That's not always the case, though. For Fishtails, for instance, I would rather jab a pencil in my eye than ever play that again. I'm not doing that anymore. I still hold that against you, Greg.
I'm pretty sure Mike said, we got him to go play it because the first week was Fishtails, and we're like, download FX3, it comes free. And Mike played it, and he said, I still paid too much. It was,
I wonder if I ever play it again.
I got ripped off. But people love that table,
Yeah,
and I had a discussion on Reddit with some people. That Brothers in Arms, there was a dude that posted on Reddit, worst table ever. I hate this game. It's so terrible.
I heard you say that.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Pinball is so subjective. And, as much as we're busting on Fishtails right now, there are people that love that table. And, I saw people talking about Fishtails. And one dude dude, I played Fishtails, and I went out and he bought the actual physical machine, and he loves it. He has it at his house, and it's like, good for you, dude, but you're nuts.
Yeah. You are 100%. Clearly, he's insane. But you're 100% right that it's so subjective, and sometimes I think tables are more. Many tables cater more to certain people's skill sets. For instance, quick spoiler alert: I'm working on my current tutorial right now, and it's for the table Taxi. And Taxi is interesting. It's an older table, but you get a free game at 2.2 million. And those that aren't familiar with my channel, I always make that my goal when I do a playthrough to show this is me trying to win a free game. And for the life of me, I got 1.4, I think it was. That was it. So I do a tutorial, and that's helpful. But my actual playthrough is just a big steaming pile of crap. It's a hard game. Taxi is not easy. Now, I did see people playing it on Pinball Arcade, the virtual version on that. And that is, boy, I wish I had that handy to use because it looks to be a lot more friendly. But I use the VPX version that was done by VPW, and it's tough, man.
I'll tell you what, on this FX, this new FX, I don't think you got it yet, Mark, because I haven't seen you on the leaderboards, but it's the Addams Family.
I didn't pick it up yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful table. And I love the sound effects and the artwork and everything, but it sucks as far as draining balls. I mean,
well, that's kind of a quarter muncher in the arcades too. So that's pretty accurate. I played the trial version though. You can get the 2-minute trials, and I actually had I used the whole 2 minutes on one ball.
Well, I've heard that 2 minutes is considered a long amount of time for you, generally.
Yeah, you've been talking to my wife. But because some of those tables, I've done the 2-minute trial, and there's still 30 seconds left when I drain my third ball. I'm like, 2 minutes, I can play the full game. And there are plenty of jokes about we could.
So you're drained after. So you're drained after a minute and a half.
Completely drained.
Yes, Champagne Room, exactly. It's very similar to Diner, even some of the same type characters, and I love that about it. The art style is wonderful, and I talk about that specifically on the video. Playing it though, man, it's for me anyway. For me, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, I enjoy Diner a lot.
So I got to ask Mike now. Mike, I know you've got the Nintendo Switch. I know you've got the PlayStation 5. We discussed last week that we don't know how well FX is going to come across on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, I can't wait for it to get there because I love playing on it and the portability. But it's probably not going to. That's probably why they're taking so long to put it out. They got to dumb it down some for the Switch. Not that I'm talking bad about the Switch. I love it. But so I guess my question is: you got the Switch, you got the PlayStation 5. Are you thinking about waiting to see what the Switch is like? Or are you thinking about just going ahead and purchasing some of the tables? Or you just kind of don't even know yet what you're going to do? I'm just curious because you're a newcomer. What's your thoughts are on FX?
I'm thinking about just like probably one game from PS5 to the Switch, like something I will bring with me, like for traveling. So if there's like a pinball game I really like and it's like I played on the PS5, I'm probably going to get another copy on it on the Switch. But primarily, I think I'll buy for FX most of the games on the PlayStation 5. But like I said, if there's something like, wow, I really like that one, I'm going to get it for the Switch too.
Now, since you're a PlayStation 5 owner, and I think you're the only one of us that's here tonight, right? You don't have one, Bart. No, you do, Ed?
I do. Yep.
Well, one thing that I noticed, have you played FX on the PlayStation, Ed?
No. It's only on my PC.
Well, here's one thing that I noticed Poe's doing. I was going to ask Mike if on the Switch, on the computer, obviously we use capture cards, but on the Switch, you can record 30 seconds worth of video, which is kind of obnoxious. But on that PlayStation, if you look at Mr. Poe Styles videos, he's able to record his audio and the gameplay into the PlayStation 5 and upload them to YouTube. And I'm telling you what, they are so fine looking. So that, Mike, have you played with any of that as far as how well that captures, or do you know anything about what?
Yeah. Originally, when I was on my other channel, Mike's TV's Gaming Headquarters, I used to be a Call of Duty channel, so I would upload Warzone clips from the PS5 onto YouTube because you can video edit everything on the PlayStation 5. It's got like really easy editing software on there, as well as like record your mic, what you're saying and stuff. So, and also I'm thinking before they didn't have like the 4K, but now they kind of updated the software so you can record it. So it really, like, for the picture, it looks really amazing on it. Plus the fact that you can, if Poe wanted to, he can actually live stream because there's a setup on the PS5 where you can live stream just as long as you bought the camera, and he can record himself playing on there as well. Which I want to try that one of these times, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But one that I seen Mr. Livewire, he said, I would like VPX. What's VPX? You guys know?
Or Ed, either one of you want to address that?
VPX is a virtual pinball program that was created for creating virtual pinball tables on the computer, and the VPX stands for Virtual Pinball 10. It was VP9, VP7, etc. That's the latest version of the virtual pinball software, the most popular one that people can use to create tables, and they're pure artists with it. They're amazing. They make incredible tables. And I'll send you a couple links, actually. I'll put them in the chat where you can download the tables for it, and you can go through and see the amazing list of tables. That's what VPX is.
Is it just for PC? Is it for just PC, right? Not Switch, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
PC.
Okay.
But that's primarily what I think Ed, Bart, and myself are running a lot of that on our cabinets, using our front ends. Bart's not running the front end. Ed and I are running the Pinball Emporium. But when my channel originally started, I was putting out a lot of those, tutorials on those tables. So if you look at some of my early stuff, I don't know. I think I've got 300 or 400 tables on mine, and they're all free.
Yeah, that's actually VPX is what inspired me to build a cabinet. Because I don't know how long you guys have been messing with it, but I messed with VPX years and years ago. Well, not VPX, like VP2 probably, way back in the day. And then I rediscovered it when VP9 was out. Yeah. And saw how far, and then shortly thereafter, VPX came out, and I was like, I got to build a cabinet. I had most of the parts laying around, and I started just putting it together, and then I discovered, I didn't even know Pinball FX. I'd never played it before, and then I found FX3, and then we got the FX2 on the VR headset, which is pretty cool, but yeah, VPX is what got me started, and a lot of those that you play at the arcades, Mike. That's why I think he was saying it. All that stuff, people have made recreations for most tables, except for the very new ones. Some of those they're having trouble with, but most of the older games, you can find the table for free and download it and play it. And
when I talk to people and try and explain them into virtual pinball and stuff, they say, God, I haven't played pinball forever. I used to love it back in the 70s. And I often ask, do you had a favorite table back there? And they'll say, oh, Sky Jump, for instance. I'm like, yep, got it. You could step right in and play it, and it's exactly like you remember. All the old solid state and electromagnetic tables, they pretty much have created on VPX.
And you can play it on the PC. You can set up single screen, portrait, landscape. You can set up back glasses if you want two screen. In here, I've got 3 screens, so I've even tested them in here. One to watch my stream and one for that. And then you use either your keyboard or an Xbox controller will guide you through it. But I wanted to ask you real quick. I know Bart doesn't mess with it, but somewhere in between all of this stuff, this VPX, Ed, do you know much about Future Pinball? Because I've got a few Future Pinball. That's another software.
Well, just that it was included in Pinball Emporium when I originally got into virtual pinball. Someone suggested Pinball Emporium. I was like, oh, looks good. I loaded it. Sure as crap. There's 300 tables and I'm playing them. And many of those are future pinball tables. I've since migrated away from Pinball Emporium, but I still have many future pinball tables. It's a rival program, for lack of a better term, to VPX. But they're not really rivals because they both exist side by side and we enjoy them all. But it's much less popular and there's many less games than there are on VPX.
And the graphics, I don't know, they did come up with some good stuff, but I got to ask you, though, since you said something about it, did you say you moved away from Pinball Emporium?
Right. Yeah, because it's an end-of-life program. The guy that created it no longer supports it. There's no updates for it. Yeah, I don't use it very often. To me, those kind of front-end systems are really cool when you have people over, and they're real simple to use, and they look really cool. But I'm just basically a guy by myself. So I almost always just double click on the actual table I want to play and start playing it.
So you're just using I get you. And I can see how I do that. I've got dual drives actually in one of my machines. I can boot from one or the other. I could boot from Pinball Emporium if I have a party or the grandkids over or somebody wants to go through the wheel. But I can see where it'd be so much easier. I think that's the way Bart's doing. He's just manually loading each game, aren't you, Bart?
Well, I do still have that Pinball X that I can use that front end, and it works. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles as of some of the other ones, but it works fine. But yeah, a lot of times if I'm just going to jump into a game, I just go right to it. And
so, Mike, what we're talking about are front end systems for these programs: VPX, Future Pinball, FX3. Those are all virtual pinball programs. The front end systems, though, are the things on the screen that look really cool, where you can cycle through tables and look at all the different tables, and they pop up with the logo and a video of the game playing, and then you hit enter and it brings it up and you play it. They are cool when you have a lot of folks over and stuff, and pretty handy. But generally speaking, like I said, I don't use it. I just look at the table directory and click on the table I want to play.
I only threw that one question up there Derek asked, so I'm sorry, Bart. I know you're controlling it, and then I control it, and I mess everything up. But
it's all good.
But Greg, he asked me about Pinup Popper. I'm not sure if you've used it, Ed. I'll just say real quick that I installed it on, since I've got two machines, I installed it on the other one. I think it's fine product. I think they both are. I know there was some infighting between the two developers, which kind of irritates me. I think they all have egos, but long story short, Popper works and is efficient. There's a lot of things I like about Popper. I think the biggest reason I didn't gravitate to it too much is I kind of started building my set when Emporium came out with the first version, and I was used to it. And it's kind of like putting on that same old pair of shoes. You get a new pair of shoes, they're not comfortable. But Pinup Popper is still being supported, I believe, and it is a great product. So my answer to that is Pinup Popper is a great product. I don't know much about it other than I just did the initial setup of it, and it works.
Yep, agreed. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of turning into the front end that people are using. And that's where people have written the scripting for the new FX.
Okay.
To import it into Popper, and it rotates the screen for you if you're not in portrait mode already. It's kind of a workaround for the landscape portrait thing. So, but I think people are embracing Popper. I haven't tried it because, I don't use my front end as much as I used to anyway. So it's just, yeah.
I see that Digital Graffiti Playhouse is messing with Midjourney again. Looks like it. It's awesome, though.
Yeah, I haven't messed with that much lately. I got to do that again. That was some fun stuff. But Mr. Livewire asked, I use Popper. It's super easy to use. Yeah, one thing about Popper, and I don't know the science behind it, but when you had to find for Emporium, you had to go find your own back glass images. A lot of it, or your wheel art, and not your back glass. You get the B2S files, but the wheel art and stuff. With Pinup Popper, you can basically go into a menu they've got and say, I want to populate this table, and it'll go out online. And I don't know if these guys created a database or they just know where they're at, but it was real easy to find your wheel art, and your background art, and your marquee art. All that stuff was available.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Now, Pinball X used to do that when I first got it. And then I don't know if I changed a setting or something, but every time I searched for like wheel, I could just click on a button. It would go find everything. And now it doesn't find anything. So but I don't need it anymore because I don't really use it. I get the table and the back glass and I'm good to go. But
I'm so afraid, when you set something up like this, like I set this all up about 2 years ago. I started on about 2 years ago, finished up about a year ago, and they started changing stuff, and I was afraid to make some changes. I'd screw up all the tables I had. So what I did was, and Bart can tell you this, he came up here to Kansas City to visit, and we went to Micro Center, and they had hard drives for dirt cheap for a terabyte solid state drive, $19. Yeah. So I bought a couple of those, and I basically made backups of my Emporium and my Popper and just laid them on the bottom of that PC. Now I can screw with whatever I want, but if I ever have a problem, I can just plug that back in and be right back where I was at.
Absolutely. That's a concern of mine too. And I'll be honest with you, that's one of the reasons I haven't made the jump to Pinup Popper yet is it works right now. And I have heard that Pinup Popper and Pinball Emporium don't get along. So,
I tried that. I made that mistake.
Yeah, you're one of the folks that told me that. I don't want to do a complete wipe and start over. So,
Yeah. Kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And yeah, if I need to reinstall Windows and start from scratch or something, then I'll consider it. But
amen.
I'm not going to break something to try something else.
Now, when future or Legends Pinball, the new 4K version comes out next year or late this year, whenever they're planning on doing it, now we may, migrate over and put a brand new PC in that. I don't know yet, but that would be nice.
Yeah. I'm cheap, so I'm looking for people that are going to sell their old Legends pinballs so they can buy the new one because their wife won't let them have two. So maybe I could pick one of theirs up cheap.
I got a story for you about Sam's Club with the Legends pinball machine. I got a friend that works up at the local Sam's Club, and they had these things marked down. They got them down to like $400, and because they had a big stack of them from last Christmas. I mean, I'm not talking about last Christmas before the last one.
Wow.
So this was back in about September. I noticed they still had a big stack of them. And they marked them down to $400. And I know this little gal that works up there. And I said, "Hey, keep an eye on those for me." She's got my number. She's a friend of my kids. And I said, "If they go lower than that, call me." And she says, "I will." Well, I'd go in there every now and then. And she said, "No, they haven't brought them down." So nobody bought them at $400. Christmas hit. They raised them back up to full price and sold out.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. But of course they did,
Yeah. People are crazy.
Hey, Arcade Chaos. I would love a Dallas Cowboy table as well. But there are NFL tables, and they have them themed for every NFL team on VPX. So if you watch my Super Bowl special, which I put out about 2 weeks ago, about 3/4 of the way through, I show that NFL table with the Dallas Cowboy version on it. You might want to check that video out.
And you can check mine out, Chaos, too, because I've got the Kansas City Chiefs. If you look back.
Greg did the Chiefs one. But yeah, they have all the teams. So if you get VPX, they're there.
Now the bad thing about my version is I can't stream that because the new back glass that somebody came out with, the fancy back glass artwork and video, showed not this year's Super Bowl but the last Super Bowl's win, and it showed Clark Hunt and all the clips. And every time I show that, if I try to put a video up on it, I get a copyright hit on it because it's so much NFL stuff all packed in together.
Huh. Yeah, you gotta be careful with streaming sometimes those tables, especially if you have custom back glasses, because I think I told you the story, Greg, before. I was doing the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Kelly came out here and she goes, "Look at your back glass," because I had downloaded the one where the girl that the creature's carrying was naked. And I'm like, "Oh, this stream is over."
Well, were you watching the night that I had the Flintstones up?
Right? Yeah.
The background shows the Fred Flintstone vehicle, and the Barney and Fred are sitting in the front seat, and Wilma and Betty are in a bad position in the back, and I didn't realize I had that. Yeah.
They were just sleepy. They were just taking a nap.
Oh no.
They were resting their heads on their laps. It was all good.
They have a custom back glass for gosh, what table is that? Also the same thing.
Elvira?
Now that you mention it, that too. But it's one I can't think of right now, and I probably had a little too much of this rum and coke to ever think of it.
I'll tell you the worst one. I'll tell you the worst or the best one. It's not just the back glass; it's the whole table, and that's Melons. What's
Melons?
What's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. The whole table is just Well, then
What was that?
I can't remember what it's called.
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa,
Nelly. That's it.
Whoa, Nelly. Yeah, we've kind of taken this to a whole different direction. But did you ever see the one of Fahrenheit 451 where when you get the thing, it takes the girl's clothes off. So each time you get to the next level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I had forgotten all about that, Bart. I did a video on that. God, it had to be a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I wouldn't know about all that, but Kelly makes me download all those. She's all about the whoa Nelly.
Sure.
She's full on boobies on the I find it highly offensive, and I try to avoid those tables, but sometimes you just got to do what your wife tells you. You just take one for the team.
You're a good guy.
But no, it's fun stuff though. It is amazing. The VPX and the community and the people put a lot of work into it. They're made by people. It's not like Stern and Williams are putting these out. These are just people that spend the time and effort and these. Oh my gosh, these tables are getting amazing. Just the features and the lighting and just
the current batch of tables that VP Workshop creates. And by the way, you'll become familiar, and mainly talking to you, Mike, but anybody that's listening, with the different authors of the tables. I know that if I get a table that's by J.P. Salas, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a great table.
It's going to be awesome. But more than any of the others is VPW. It's Virtual Pinball Workshop, and it's a small group of guys that all work on it together. One guy might do the ramps and artwork. This guy might work on the flippers. This guy might do the physics. So their tables, though, are spectacular, in particular the physics. You can do drop catches with the flipper. The sounds are all spot on. VPW is great.
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually had a guy on Reddit, and we had a little back and forth because when I first downloaded the new FX, it didn't run very well on my cabinet, and I found out some of it was due to my own problems on my cabinet, and I got it playing better. But I was saying, with the visual enhancements and all that doesn't help if you got an older computer that can't run it.
True.
And he got a little defensive, and because he's all about the new FX, which I don't blame him. It's a great program. And I mentioned something about VPX, and boy, he started trashing. He's like, "Oh, the VPX physics are all over the place, and most of those tables are junk." And I'm like, "Dude, they're not junk." And eventually, I saw him on like 3 or 4 other posts, and finally, I saw him on a post. Someone did a review. I think I sent it to you guys. They did a review on all the FX tables. The new FX, just a brief little write up on, and they rated them. And he couldn't just say that, he disagreed with some of his ratings. He's like, "Oh, this guy's an idiot. His ratings are trash." And all I posted was, "Do you ever make posts where you don't insult people?" And I don't know if they booted him or what happened, but he deleted several of his posts, and I don't know, because apparently he had responded to me when I said that, and then that was gone, and the one I replied to, and then I saw some of the other ones were gone. So I don't know if he just maybe his wife saw him and was like, "Yeah, you are kind of a dick." And I mean, everyone has opinions. We sit here and say, we'll trash fishtails all day, but if someone liked it, we're not going to be, "Oh, you're an idiot. That game sucks. You're an idiot for liking it." And that's kind of how he was. So, right. But yeah, the way he was going off on VPX, it's like, dude, a lot of those tables are just amazing, and they play great and look great, and yeah.
And Greg, you mentioned Future Pinball too, and the graphics aren't quite as good as the VPX tables. And for the most part, that's true. However, there is one group on Future Pinball that create Future Pinball tables. Terry Red, Slam Tilt, a couple other guys that I can't remember, but there's 4 or 5 specific tables that are among the very best virtual pinball tables ever created, including FX3, including FX, including VPX. Jaws, the bigger boat edition, Star Wars, Death Star Assault Galactic Edition, Sonic Mania, and a few others. They're worth checking out. If you get Future Pinball up and running on your system, definitely get those, because those all kick butt.
Yeah, and they play great. And there's I remember hearing on some threads or reading, they're Future Pinball is not that good. And, people were back and forth about it, but they do have some good stuff. A matter of fact, how I first found out about Future Pinball was before I even had Pinball Emporium. If you're a At Games player, I don't have the At Games Pinball, but I've got the Ultimate, and some of those original online pinball when they first came out, before they had the ones they sold you, they had some where you could play online. And I think one of them was called something Cats. But it was a Future Pinball table, and I remember seeing at the bottom it said produced by Future Pinball when you brought it up, and I guess At Games got permission to use a couple of these, and I went to their website and looked at it, and it was cool. So they've been around a long time.
Yeah.
It's a great and some of those developer or the guys that make the tables that Ed just mentioned there, I can't get Future Pinball to run on my machine for whatever reason. It just doesn't like it. So I still tinker with it from time to time. But these guys, I don't even have Future Pinball, and I've heard of these guys. That's how good their stuff is. Just being in the community at all, you're like, oh yeah, Terry Red. I've heard of this guy. He makes table. I can't play any of his tables, but yeah. But
I don't want you guys to think I'm looking for something I want to share. So you guys carry on. I'm just gonna. If I'm looking away, don't think I'm being rude. I just I'm trying to find something.
Champagne Room, you said right there about the cool options that they have for VPX. Yeah, they have different LUT options while you play, and LUT means lookup table, and it has to do with the graphics and colors and the color grading of the particular image you're looking at. And you can just hit the MagnaSave button anytime while the table's active and cycle through these different colors of your table. Maybe you want a lower saturation version. Maybe you want a black and white version. They even have a black light version, which looks like you're in a black light room, of the table. And you can switch between them real time while you play. And that's a really cool option.
Yeah. It's amazing what they're able to do. It's just amazing. Yeah, was it Bad Cats you were talking about, Greg?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad Cats. I really like that table. It was a lot of fun.
I don't think I played that. I have it. I know I have it, but I don't have booted it up and played it.
Back when I bought my Joker's table, when I had the physical table, it was between Bad Cats and Jokers. On which one the guy at the shop had both of them for the same price. And what won it out for me was Jokers had multi-ball, and Bad Cats doesn't have multi-ball. So I went for that. But I still play Bad Cats on my digital table. I still like it, but yeah.
I will check that out. I have not played it.
Yeah.
Fun table.
And that's another one, like Pinball Subjective. That Joker's table I had, a lot of people don't like it because it doesn't have a big in-depth rule set. I think you did a video on it, didn't you, Ed?
I did a tutorial on it after you told me about it. That was cool.
Yeah, it's not a deep game. It's fairly straightforward, but it's not a bad table. I really enjoyed it when I had it, but yeah, I've heard that live wire with the baller installer. That might be a way to go. If I chew a motherboard change in my cabinet, I'm probably going to go ahead and do the baller installer and all that. And from starting from scratch anyway, I might do that. So,
Gotcha. Did you finish downloading your booby backdrop there, Greg? Is that what you're doing? For the
No. I wasn't gonna go that far.
You just got distracted. Have you played that Friday the 13th one where they got the Freddy Krueger sounds and all that stuff? And it's got that one you got to be careful with too. I did a video on that one, and I had to put. Of course, I use solar panels for my blocks because when it plays the brain fart. When it plays the videos on the back glass, what do you call it? Some of the pup pack videos are, it's Friday the 13th movie, so there's topless scenes. When you're in the middle of playing it, you're like, oh, so I put solar panels covering it up, so I didn't want to have to edit out the gameplay. But
no, I have a Friday the 13th table I played, and I did a Halloween special with a lot of different scary tables, and that was one of them. But I don't think I had a pup pack on it. I think I just had a regular back glass. I generally stay away from pup packs. To me, they're distracting when I play, and I don't get into it much. But
if you're playing, you can't hardly watch them anyway.
No.
But and I don't think there's a way to get the PG version. I think you just download the pup pack, and it has what it has. So.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Postile said I need to shoot a video and not edit it, and just keep it private so he can watch it. I don't know what that's about.
What's that other table though? That oh my goodness, this is my age. There was a movie made. They're puppets. They're all marionettes. What was the name of that movie?
Oh, Team America?
Yes. Have you ever played that game with the pup pack in it?
No.
Oh, that is the rawest stuff I've ever seen in my life. And they're puppets. They're puppets.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
You didn't watch the movie, Greg? Did you watch the movie? Did you ever watch the movie, Greg?
Well, I did after I got the table and I watched it. I said and played the table and saw all that disgusting stuff. I said, well, I got to watch that movie.
There you go.
Right up my alley.
Of course, y'all guys are all thinking, what kind of sicko watches puppets have?
Yeah, it was a pretty aggressive movie.
But yes, I did watch the movie. It was, isn't it the creator? Was it the creators of South Park?
Yeah, it's the creators of South Park.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't looking for that. I got something else I was looking for, but I did just happen to find my copy. I don't know what would happen if I opened it while we're in this stream, though. I do have Whoa Nelly up on the screen here, but I don't think I can throw it the stream. I think it might. I don't know what it'll do. I'm scared.
Is it the regular version of Whoa Nelly? Just the clean version?
Don't make me click on it. Okay, if we lose the stream, I hope this doesn't.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to. I'm just asking if it was the regular version. But
no, it's not the regular. It's not the regular version.
Oh. It's funny, when I first downloaded that table, I thought it was just a made-up table. I did not realize that Whoa Nelly was an actual table.
Watermelons.
Let's see what this does. It didn't. It am I gone?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. Well, sure enough. Look at there.
Yeah.
Right.
People on the replay can pause that if you want. And
to be honest with you, I hadn't turned on those VPX tables in this system in a long time, and I haven't played those on this. I played the FX Pinball in here now. All the other stuff I play out there, because I haven't been adding tables. This was my test simulator in here. I put it on here, and if it worked, I'd move it over to the cabinet. And if it screwed this up, then I didn't move it over. That's simple.
Gotcha.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what. It's been a blast. I know that we've hit our hour and 8-minute mark. If nobody cares, unless somebody's got something big they want to bring up, I'm all open for them here. But I was going to go into final thoughts. So first, anybody got anything they want to bring up big before I go to final thoughts?
Just that I wanted to agree with Mr. Livewire, the Big Lebowski putt pack. I did see that, and that I enjoyed very much. Not to look at it, but to listen to while I played. That was good.
It is a great.
Sometimes the sounds are worth it. Yeah, some of those putt packs have good sound call outs and stuff, so it is worth it for that.
Yeah, they're great stuff. Well, I'll tell you what. I think I'm gonna let Mike go first. Gaming Road Warrior, for any final thoughts. He's kind of been sitting back here, being a great guy and a great participant tonight. So, got any final thoughts, Mike, on anything you want to bring up? Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe you guys can help me on this. So I'm a fan, like what I was talking about for the Star Trek table, the one that Stern made. And I think it was it Guy Ritchie that developed that table. And one of the tables I noticed, it was a Williams table that I'm surprised I didn't see it in store. It was the Star Trek, The Next Generation. Do you know if that they're ever going to bring that out? Because I would like to purchase that one.
I think I did a tutorial on that.
Yeah,
but you guys never seen it for sale or anything was it VPX?
I think Ed's talking about on VPX.
Yeah,
on FX or FX3. So
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, FX3, they're done. They're not going to release any more tables for FX3. Indiana Jones was the last release for FX3. So it would have to come out on the new FX, and they're pretty tight-lipped on what's coming up. But it is available on VPX for free. You just got to set it up, and then you can play it. But and because Ed did a video on that, and and then if you watch Ed's video, you'll actually learn how to play it. If you watch my video or Greg's video, you'll say, well, that game must be horrible because all it does is drain.
I remember it from when I used to go to the arcade back when I was a teen. That table, I really liked playing. I know, I didn't play the original Star Trek one. I know I wanted to, and but I seen the Next Generation. I'll try this one. It was a lot of fun. Plus, it was Terminator 3, another one, or Terminator 2. That was another
great table too.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie, and it's for some reason I like the Guy Ritchie games. Those are some of my favorite ones to play.
He's good.
Yeah, that's a big name in pinball. You're right.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna. Mike, anything else? I mean,
no, that's it for me. I was just really interested if they're going to be coming out with that. Thanks, guys.
The only thing I'll say about that table is, if you remember when I took that trip last fall. Went down to Branson, country music capital of Missouri, and they had I found one pinball machine down there. I thought I'd find 10, and that's what it was. It was a Star Trek table. So I did get to play that, and it was fun. Good table.
It's a good one.
Okay, Digital Victory, got anything? Final thoughts? Words of wisdom? Anything going on?
Not too much. Thank you so much for the invite, by the way. I do appreciate that. And I appreciate you allowing me all the shameless plugs, including the Star Trek The Next Generation video, which you can find on my channel. I also, Mike, by the way, put it in the private chat here. So if you look in there, I got a link for it for you. And
all right, thanks.
You've inspired me, actually, to do a new video, top 5 favorite Star Trek tables, which I'm going to go ahead and put together in the coming weeks, I think. That soun's good.
Cool.
Other than that, I'll just say boobies. There you go.
The unofficial theme of tonight. Nice.
Bart, Off Grid Arcade, anything? Share with us before we go out tonight.
No, just the normal. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out the new Pinball FX, I recommend it. you still do get the Wild West Rampage for free, and you can play free trials up to 2. You get 2-minute games on all of the games. I think on the consoles you have to download them. If you're on Epic, you can. It comes with it. You just click on it and play the free trial. You can play 2 minutes, and hopefully we see everybody in the big tournament that started today with the. What are we playing? We're playing. I can't see it. There's so many screens now. I can't even see what
Castle
table
Storm.
we're playing.
Castle Storm.
Castle Storm. 1 ball, 5 attempts. We're laying it down on the line. 1 ball. So hopefully we'll see you in the leaderboards. It'll probably be higher than me and Greg, but probably lower than Mike the way he plays. So
Just remember,
I got to get up at 6 in the morning.
Well, I'll just reiterate what Bart said. Check out the tournament. Remember, if you're not scoring high, you can see that things change up real quick. Plus, we added this just to make sure, the top prize winner, we're going to have a playoff, is going to get a $25 gift card. But anybody who plays, every time you play, every week, your name's going to go into a drawing. The top person won't be eligible for that, but everybody else will be eligible. If you play all 10 weeks, you'll have 10 tickets in there with your name on it. We'll draw that, and you're going to get a $25 gift card too. So it's, we didn't plan on commercializing this, but I thought I'd just up the ante a little bit to make it fun and enjoyable for everybody. And there's going to be a trophy for the first place winner. So with that being said, this week is tough. 1 ball, 1 game. I will put up probably a video in the next day or two. Maybe I can get to it tomorrow. I may put up another tournament. I'm fortunate enough that I can put up a separate tournament using my Switch. You can usually only allowed 1. I may put up another one, just a practice one for next week. It won't count toward the tournament. If I do, I'll put it in my community section on my YouTube channel. So look there and see. And I don't know, Bart's been setting those up too. So if we do something in the middle of the week, because this is going to be quick for everybody. 5 days, but only got 5 balls, 1 attempt. So, we may find something to do for a little filler. So be looking for that. That being said, I want to thank everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Good to see you guys in the chat too. Always.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say something real quick, Greg?
Yes, sir.
I stand corrected. It wasn't Guy Ritchie's tables. It's Steve Ritchie. Otherwise, someone's gonna say something about it in the comments. Guy Ritchie's the director. So yeah, Steve Ritchie.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I already unsubbed the channel because of that, Mike. I wasn't going to point it out publicly, and just I was mad. I was so mad. I even unsubscribed Poe again. So that's the third time. That's the third time today I unsubbed Poe.
Tough crowd.
Yeah, Steve Ritchie, you're right. You were close. You were there.
Yeah,
you were there.
Close. Director, pinball guy.
Yeah, but.
And don't forget, if you're watching this on playback or you're just now getting tuned into these things, search for the host. It's G.Parker. And the password for the tournament up until we get to the end is with the playoffs is going to be Off Grid, OFFGRID, all lowercase. So that'll get you into the tournament.
10-4.
All right, you guys. Hopefully, you guys will stick around for the after party in the green room. Thanks to all my viewers and to Bart's viewers over there at Off Grid Arcade, because we are simulcasting on both channels. Have a good one. We'll see you next Sunday night, 10 p.m. Central. Have a good one. Bye now.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.